You reading it out?
No, you can read it out.
I can't even see it.
You Sunnis hate the
Ahl al-Bayt. You Sunnis hate the Ahl al-Bayt. Who are you Sunnis?
I don't know, like, where are they from?
That sounds like it's like we're some gang. Like, yo, you Sunnis, yeah. This sounds like there's some like beef happening. Why do people think Sunnis don't have any love for the Ahl al-Bayt? Like, where did that come from?
The person who wrote this comment, they probably don't even associate themselves with any Sunnis. They don't talk to them.
These all seem to be 140 characters as well.
They all, oh god.
Go on, man.
No, it's not even that. It's just like when people are being rude, but they're doing typos and are missing out words and stuff.
These Shias are just doing taqiyya. They all Shias support their militias being sent to Syria to rape our women ordered by Iran.
Wow.
Sounds like you guys in some kind of gang,
Yeah.
preschool gang of little toddlers, and that's the language that you're coming up with. Do you know what I mean? Like, it just sounds a bit petty Betty.
Yeah, petty Betty, like.
When was the first time you heard about taqiyya?
I was actually in a chicken shop. What can you tell someone who thinks everything that comes out of him after life?
Apparently we're very talented at doing taqiyya. We graduated from the school of taqiyya. A-star.
Isn't a coincidence that all terrorist groups are Sunni? Excuse me. Really?
No, wait, really?
I thought most terrorist groups are white. I'm joking.
I think it is ignorant of any Shia to say all terrorists are Sunni, and it's provocative, and there's no place for it to be.
Don't achieve anything by saying comments.
I don't know any Muslim terrorist. I've never come across any Muslim terrorist because there's no such thing as a Muslim terrorist. So if there's no such thing as a Muslim terrorist, there's no such thing as a Sunni terrorist or a Shia terrorist or a Sufi terrorist or a Salafi terrorist. It doesn't make sense for me anyway.
All these Sunnah are just blind followers of Saudi royal family and Wahhabism. If I'm to be totally honest, I don't even know what the Saudi royal family does in life. So.
Most Sunnis I speak to actually despise Saudi and what they stand for.
As people, we love to kind of label and put everyone in boxes.
Yeah.
So automatically, if you're going to label a type of people Sunnis, then you're going to assume that all these Sunni people believe in one thing, they're exactly the same, they look the same, they all follow the royal family. And that's just like not the case at all.
Shias do shirk, they worship their imams.
Yeah, you've got 12 different qiblas at home. We dedicate 5 prayers a day to each and every one of them.
Everyone gets accused of shirk, isn't it?
Everybody.
There's so many different ways to God, and Allah is so open and so merciful. And then you have Muslims like this, who can just kind of, when they disagree, they have to take it so personal.
Those who don't believe in the walaya of Imam Ali alayhi salam are not Muslim. Not Muslim in capitals, by the way, emphasizing.
So I don't know, is this person pretending to be God? Because he's obviously making a judgment in like, he knows who's Muslim and he knows who's not Muslim. Or she knows, you never know. I'm just assuming all these comments are men. Do you know what I mean?
I thought the parameters of La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah makes you a Muslim by default, right?
People like to be extra. And I guess, again, it's one of those things that you try to marginalize the other sect because they don't believe what you believe.
Yeah, no, but it just sounds like kids.
Yeah.
Thinks
I'm
right, me.
It's playground stuff, yeah.
Exactly.
And this is sometimes the danger of how we take our religion. We use it as something to feed our ego, sometimes. Do you know what I mean? Rather than kind of like kill our ego, sort our ego out, we use it as a means to feed our ego so that we can be up here and we're looking down on everyone.
Ooh. Okay.
Am I meant to say this out loud?
Shias are all sons of zina. They're born from mutta prostitutes.
Oh my gosh.
Ouch.
Okay.
I think that's quite offensive. Yeah, everyone respects their mum. So I don't think, quite offensive. That's very offensive. We hear this. It is quite common.
Nonsense.
It is quite common. We hear it a lot. Shouldn't be said.
Disagree, have arguments, do whatever you want, but why do you need to be so like?
To
where's the
go
other?
out of your way to be so rude
do you know what I mean?
and so filthy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then on Friday you'll go and pray and be like, mashallah, let me give my sadaqah, you know.
Yeah.
I'm a very humble person. That is disgusting.
Enough is enough. I like that one. Full stop. Enough is enough. Sunnis never stand up for Shia oppression, and everyone is against us, so we should not unite with the Sunnis.
I would like to know more about what this Shia oppression is and what I can do to help.
I've heard this time and time again, and it's really shameful. We revere characters that gave water to the people that ended up killing them just before being martyred, and that. So these are the principles that we should be living by. But instead, we're out on Twitter saying
they don't believe what I believe.
Saying
no, you need.
Yeah, it's petty, and I think we mentioned this before. It's like
we need to be bigger than that.
Yeah.
When I watch on the TV screen, I feel the pain. Like whether you're a Muslim, whether you're a non-Muslim, especially when it comes to children, you just feel it. Do you know what I mean? And it's not even about like who you are, where you've come from. If you're going through oppression, if you're going through pain, as a human being, I'm gonna feel that.
As a Muslim, it's your duty to fight against any form of oppression to anybody. It doesn't matter about whether you're Sunni or Shia, if you're black or you're white, if you're green with pink polka dots. As a human being,
you stand up, man.
You stand up for them.
Take a moment to thank Allah. You're not a Shia. Just picture this: you're on a prayer mat and you're thinking, "Thank God, I'm not Shia." Like, is that what your focal point of your life is?
I just don't think you should focus on other people. If you think they're wrong, you can think they're wrong.
But what about the fact that they say it out loud online? Like, as in,
it's just.
Would you ever meet someone who would say that stuff online? Why would you say that stuff online?
Nope, I've never. No one's ever said that to my face. Have you ever seen someone say that in person?
I haven't seen anybody say it to my face, but I have seen it online.
Keyboard warriors.
Yeah, keyboard warriors.
And people get sucked in.
Yeah.
Oh, what do you mean?
Takes a lot of bravery to say it to somebody's face.
This.
But if you can't say something to somebody's face, then you shouldn't say it at all.
It's all birthed from ego.
Yeah.
You know, and people feeling what is right and what is wrong and trying to enforce that and recruit people who think the same like them and fight against it and like divide and conquer. Well, try to divide and conquer, because you have amazing people who like see beyond all of that and are willing to work together irrespective of our differences.
You know what? Thank you, person, for reminding us to not be like you.
If a white person tweeted saying, "Thank God I'm not black," the kind of emotions and the kind of grievances that you would feel.
See, I don't know. It's the comment still doesn't bother me, and I don't know if it's because I'm a Sunni and it's not being aimed at me. When you put it in the black and white kind of context, if a white person who's you know an activist and so on said that, once again, it wouldn't bother me. I'd just be like, yeah, thank God you're not black as well, because
we don't want you.
Yeah.
We've only just sat here for just a short space of time, and we've had this like barrage on us, and we're like, whoa. But we can kind of like shut off, walk home, maybe contemplate about it a bit more, maybe be more mindful of our actions. But there are a lot of Shias who receive those messages on a regular basis, to the point where they may become desensitized to it, or they may develop a hatred towards Sunnis.
It's also born out of fear as well. When you live in a bubble, you don't want to be affected. You don't want your children to be affected by other doctrines and the schools of thought. So what do you do is do propaganda.
And people inherit their religions from their fathers.
So not only do they inherit their religion, but also the hatred.
We were created from different tribes so that we can learn from one another. And different cultures so that we can learn from one another. We may not have to take on board everything that we believe in, but we can take from the good and the bad, and you can build together, ultimately.
It's ignorance and it's propaganda. And when you put the two together, it's a recipe for disaster, because you've got people that don't know what they're talking about, and they've got the PR power.
People are so just so aggressive and angry. Have your differences and just be like, okay, this is what you believe, this is what I believe, great. I had a friend from Iraq and she was saying how, I'm not too familiar with that region, but she was saying how it's so beautiful, like back in the day, how, you would just have like Sunnis and Shias all just like interacting and as communities, which is something that you don't hear in the media.
No,
you don't hear that. You're always reminded that in Islam there are two sects. You have the Shias and the Sunnis, and they hate each other. That's what we're fed. That's what we're reminded. Muslims and non-Muslims. That's what we're kind of constantly taught, and so to have an image of Shias and Sunnis just chilling and walking the streets and just being who they got to be is something that we're not used to hearing or seeing.
One ummah.
One ummah, yeah. That's the best way to sum it up.